Hey everybody, so you're looking at the Xiaomi Pocophone on the left and the Realme 2 Pro by Oppo on the right, and these are probably the two craziest values right now in terms of budget phones. So the Xiaomi Pocophone obviously sells for about $300 to $350 and offers a Snapdragon 845 chipset with either 6 or 8 gigs of RAM. The Realme 2 Pro only offers a Snapdragon 660, so it's a less powerful processor, but it's about $100 cheaper all around. So the lowest variant, which has 4 gigs of RAM with 64 gigs of internal storage, that starts at, I believe, $180. And then if you want to max it out, like this version I have here, 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of internal storage, sells for about $250. So the most expensive Realme is still $50 cheaper than the lowest variant of the Pocophone, but again, 845 versus 660. So if you go into Geekbench, it's no comparison. So you see right here, scored a 1919 multi-core on the Pocophone versus 5421 multi-core on the Snapdragon 660 powered Realme 2 Pro. But you know what? Benchmarks aren't everything though, because just day-to-day use, I'm zipping around both phones and I don't really see a major speed difference. The chipset really only comes into play when you're editing 4K videos. If you do that, a lot of people don't. If you play graphic intensive games like Hero Hunter, this phone will be able to handle at ultra setting. The Realme 2 Pro cannot. And when you're shooting videos, which I'll show you some samples later, both of these phones can shoot in 4K. But the Realme 2 Pro obviously struggles a bit with stabilization because the 660 just doesn't have that good an image signal processor compared to what's in the Qualcomm Snapdragon 845. I mean, 845 is just about the best chipset in Android right now, although I think Huawei's Kirin 980 should be much more powerful, but that's not out yet. So I'm just gonna pit the two phones side by side in some camera testing and download tests, speed tests, all that, just to see, you know, how the Realme 2 Pro compares. So both phones right now are running on my home Wi-Fi, so they're running on the exact same network, and they're both connected to the same STC service provider. So we'll do a speed test and see how the results turn out. So if you guys remember my old video comparing the Pocophone to the Galaxy Note 9, the Pocophone completely beat the Note 9 in terms of this speed test, download test, upload test. So Realme 2 Pro seems to be scoring higher so far. Yep, it won the download at 66.1 megabits per second compared to the Pocophone's 52.5. But the Pocophone wins in upload, 166 to the Realme 2 Pro's 134. So it's kind of like a tie really. It depends on what you need. Some people prefer download speed, some people prefer upload speed. So now I'm going to do an app launch test. And just to be fair, I'm going to restart both phones so everything is fresh. So I'm going to reboot the Pocophone. And then the Realme 2 Pro, unfortunately, does not let you reboot the phone, so you have to shut it off and then turn it back on. It's like an extra step. Okay, so I finished rebooting. And in general, the Pocophone rebooted a lot faster too. Okay, so now both are completely fresh. Let me clear all the apps too, actually. So you see both of these phones have swiping navigations. So we'll first go into Instagram. So this is not the most scientific test because I'm just using my fingers to tap on apps, but just to give you a general idea. So we'll tap into my girlfriend's Instagram stories. She's in Japan right now. Both loaded almost exactly the same speed. We'll tap into this lady right here. We'll click into Flossie Carter's profile video and just play a video, see. Okay, so Pocophone's loading a little bit faster, split second really. Alright, we'll back out Flossie, tap into Torque, go into older stories. So this one, Pocophone's a little bit faster. Again, these tests don't, the Instagram test don't mean anything. It's kind of random, but we'll check a couple more apps. Hopefully if I do enough, you'll kind of get a general idea. Ooh, Joshua Vergara commented on my story. will reply to my comment actually. Okay, so we'll tap onto my friend Michael's Facebook profile. I haven't tapped in his profile in a while. Yeah, so the Pocophone is loading just a little bit faster. But you know, the speed differences are kind of minimal. We'll go into Chrome. Let's check out a website I haven't been to in a long time. So that's interesting. The Realme 2 Pro loaded the site first, but then the Pocophone finished loading everything faster, just a split second. Striking photos. So you see, both phones are pretty smooth. I mean, the speed difference right now, it kind of, this is just like some nerd geek thing for YouTubers to do, because in real life nobody really cares the difference between like you know, difference between this speed and this speed. It's the same thing. Google Maps. Yeah, so the Pocophone is straight up loading faster. We'll search. Let's do Mumbai. 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 Exact same speed. Street view. Oh, that's a beautiful building right there. Okay, so I'm gonna try to install Standoff 2 at the same time. Proceed. By quite a lot. So this is just to give you a general idea, but Pocophone clearly won this one. It's already installing while on the Realme 2 Pro still downloading at 10%. That's really slow. You know, I'm gonna stop it and do one more just to kind of, you know, even out the results, because if Pocophone wins again, then we know it's legit faster if it's 2 for 2. Let's do Space Marshals. Okay, yeah, Pocophone is just faster. Now it's at 28. Realme 2 Pro is at 8.4 megabits. Yeah, 24% to 1%. I don't need to finish this. We already know the results. All right, now we're gonna launch all the camera apps to see which one launches first. I've just cleared all the apps again. There's nothing, so we will tap on both. Okay, Pocophone's a little faster. Shutter speed, very similar. So just looking at the camera app, they're both swipe heavy. But actually, I want to mention one thing with the Realme 2 Pro software. It's that maybe if I use a case, it'll fix the problem. But when I'm holding the phone, you see, the swiping is a little bit too sensitive. A lot of times I'm holding the phone and I keep accidentally switching modes when I'm not trying to. Like, I'll just be moving the camera around like this, and I already switch modes when I'm not trying to switch modes. It seems to be a little bit sensitive, but I'm not using a case. If you use a case, that might be able to fix the problem. The Pocophone or Xiaomi's camera app is a little bit better. Like, there's not that many accidental triggers in terms of switching modes. So in general, both cameras are very good for the price range. You can capture images in a day that can, you know, at least if you put it on social media, it looks just as good as anything off an iPhone. Now, when you blow up the images, you'll see minor loss in details, especially on a Pocophone. Now I zoom in, you see the sign's not that clear because the camera's only 12 megapixel. The Realme 16 megapixel actually look better. Now you look at bokeh images, depth detection is really good. The Pocophone on the left has a more accurate color. That's how brown goo actually looks. On the Realme, you see, you actually get more details, but the color is not quite accurate. It's a little bit cool. Now you look at this night shot right here, the Pocophone is much better. It's a lot more balanced, whereas on the Realme Pro 2 Pro, you look at the image is blown out in the lights. That's because it has an f1.7 aperture. Now you look at videos, same thing. Now, this is shot in 4K. Both of these phones loses any type of stabilization in 4K. So now as I walk, it's quite jerky. Now you see both the bright lights right there are kind of overexposed, but it's a little bit better on the Pocophone on the left than on the Realme 2 Pro, which is almost completely blown out anytime there's a bright light. So Realme 2 Pro in general can pull in more light in the dark, but that can also bite you in the ass. Now right here, you have a pretty difficult shot, dark alley on the right, And surprisingly, again, the Realme 2 Pro looks better. It pulls in more light right here. Now you look at Poco, it's a lot darker, right? But the Pocophone image is more balanced. Selfies, I mean, they're whatever. I don't really care about selfies. Now you look at this shot, same thing. Really good when you look at it from afar. You zoom in, the Realme 2 Pro again has more details because it has a larger megapixel. But the Pocophone image is more balanced. You look at that door, it's completely blown out on the Realme 2 Pro. On the Pocophone, it looks fine. So in general, both phones are very close. Again, with the A45, you will get slightly better videos, especially in low light situation, and when you're gaming, you'll get better graphic performance. But otherwise, day-to-day use, there's not a lot of difference. And if you're taking still photography, the Realme 2 Pro wins sometimes too. And finally, if you want to talk design, I think the Realme 2 Pro definitely looks better. The chin, look at it, it's smaller. The back, kind of a little bit more premium feeling compared to this kind of plasticky thing. But at the end of the day, it's a tough comparison, man. So this phone has Snapdragon 845, this phone has 660. But then the cheapest version of this phone is $300, whereas the cheapest version of this phone you can have for $190. So man, it's a good time to be a consumer looking for a smartphone now. There's just so much competition that all the brands have to pump out really good stuff. Like, I mean, a few years ago these phones would have been like $500. Now they're like $200, $300. That's crazy. Anyway, thanks for watching.